We are approaching the one-year anniversary of the official U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. And under the new Taliban government, life has become increasingly more difficult. The country is dealing with an economic collapse, the continuous threat by ISIS, and a sharp cut in aid from international organizations. And among the groups feeling the effects the most are religious minorities. Joining us now is Ambassador Sam Brownback, former U.S. Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom. Ambassador Brownback, great to see you as always. If you don't mind, can you give us a sense of what life is like for religious minorities under the Taliban rule? You know, we've heard there are reports that Christians and even some Muslims are being hunted down by the Taliban.
They are. They are in hiding. They're trying to get to safe houses or moving from different houses. Give you a little bit of a context right now. There are 0 Hindus left in Afghanistan, none. And there are just over 100 Sikhs left, and they are trying to get out. And the ones that can are getting out. And Christians are in hiding. Hazara Muslims that are Shia Muslims are being hunted down as well. I mean, this is a genocide of all religious minorities that don't agree with the Taliban. That's what you're seeing take place now.
A really terrible situation there. What do you think the Biden administration and also the international community, what do you think they can do to help? What do you think should be done?
They need to prioritize for visas religious minorities. This is something that they can do. They have it in their power to do. We have about 1,500 religious minorities, primarily Christians and Hazara Muslims that are left in Humanitarian City in Abu Dhabi, but they're stuck and they won't prioritize their visa processing. They've been cleared. They've been gotten out of Afghanistan by different groups that have paid for their way to get them out just to get them to safety. But they need to be prioritized. They need to be granted visas to be able to get into the United States, or at least working with other Western countries to get them placed there.
If that doesn't happen, what will happen to them, do you think?
Well, the ones left in Afghanistan, I don't know. I think they're going to be hunted down. If the Taliban don't get you, the other people will get you. There are other there are other Muslim groups in there that are hunting them down as well. And if out of Humanitarian City, they're not going to be taken in by Abu Dhabi and the community writ large. They've got to be placed somewhere. And that's where I really think the United States, working with Canada, the UK, other Western countries, Brazil, need to take them and need to take them now.
Yeah, you know, something else I want to talk about, I know, you know this, last year the Taliban indicated that its role will be different from when it ran the country back in the late 1990s and early 2000s. For those who may not remember, can you tell us what life was like under the Taliban rule back then, and have things changed now?
Can a tiger change his stripes? I don't believe it. They haven't done it. And what it was like then was, if you didn't agree with their philosophy as a Sunni Muslim, as a radical Sunni Muslim terrorist, you could be killed and were ostracized and run out. Family members were killed and hunted down. Women couldn't go to school. They couldn't leave the house without a male escort. That's the same sort of philosophy that's still being executed and exercised in many areas in Afghanistan. And it's just without repercussion. It's like the world has turned its face and its gaze another place. It said, okay, we tried for a long time. It didn't work. We're going to go somewhere else. And people are left and they get killed and they're dying.
It's so tough. It's hard to imagine. I want to switch gears here before we let you go and talk about some things happening here in the United States. As we reported earlier, there was confirmation over the weekend that the pro-life Value Them Both amendment in Kansas was shot down by voters. You're the former governor of Kansas, as many people know. I'm curious, why do you think the measure failed? And what could pro-lifers maybe do in the future on votes like this?
You know, I thought Peggy Noonan had a really good article on this in Wall Street Journal about, here you've had 50 years of Roe versus Wade, basically, and now you had a radical shift. The Dobbs case took place. 6 weeks later, you have this public vote in Kansas. The other side was really exercised and motivated. There's a lot of deception, a lot of misleading that took place. I think we're just really going to have to go out and and back up, working, continuing to work at changing hearts and minds, and take incremental steps on forward is what I think we have to learn from this. What happened in the state of Kansas. We're not giving up. We're not quitting. Life remains sacred. It remains sacred from the very beginning to the very end, and we're going to continue to fight for that.
Well, we're going to leave it right there. Ambassador Brownback, thank you so much as always for your time and for your insights. We appreciate it.
My pleasure to join you.